Okay, my carburetor started to seep and dripping a small amount of gasoline down on the floor. So I did some research and I double-checked my float level, and it was correct. The research I did tells me that this valve that I have, which came in my carburetor kit, is not the optimum valve to have and can be problematic. And I also research told me that there is a valve that is better and that can be ordered and purchased. So if I need that, I'm going to use that. I tested this valve just by holding it shut and blowing on this end, and it feels like it's closing to me. So I'm going to, since my float is adjusted correctly, I know that, I've measured it, and since this valve, although questionable, I think is okay. And one other thing on this is these plastic washers they gave me with this kit. I don't like these, but I'm going to go with them because that's what I got. But they should be the old fiber type washer instead of these hard plastic. But hopefully these will work. These jets, just looking in here, common sense, I got two jets that are down below gas level, with the level of the gas in the fuel bowl. Now, if they're not seating correctly, they're going to leak because their seats are below the fuel level in the bowl. So I did clean the carburetor when I rebuilt it, and it looked okay. But I've come back to these jets now trying to determine what this leak is. And in order to clean their seats, I needed something that would fit their seats. So I took a drill bit and well, I still got the regular cutting edge on that end, but on the other end of the drill bit, I put it on a grinder, on a 90-degree plate to a grinder, and turned it so that I made a serrated surface on the end of that bit. And that's like a cleaning surface. Not really a cutting surface, but a cleaning surface. It has a lot of serrated little lines on it. Then I held that on the seat of the jet, where the plastic washer for the jet will go, and I turned it by hand. And it's not an exaggeration to say it's a great improvement, or even a vast improvement of what it was. It looked doable before, but now that I've got the leak, I've got to take this into consideration. So I did this one, and I did that. That's the compensating jet there. And I did the main jet seat, which is here. I had to use a little bit smaller bit, but then the same thing again. I serrated the end. I sized it before I did that so it fits just in the hole. Then I held it in there nice and square and turned it by hand until I had cleaned that up in there, and it really cleaned the seat up nicely. So this carburetor did have rust, and hopefully that will fix my problem. If not, then I'll come back to this and take a look at this valve and perhaps these plastic washers also. Having looked online, I see that some guys have been mighty frustrated with leaking carburetors, and that it's taken a lot of work to get them fixed. But hopefully this one won't take that long. Okay, I've reinstalled the carburetor, and she fired up easy, so that's a good sign. And the carburetor's staying dry, but of course it stayed dry before too. What I'll do is I'm going to shut it off, and then I'll just wait. I'm going to go to lunch now, and I'll come back, and I have another car I'm going to work on, and I'm waiting on brake parts on this. I had it up on the lift. I lowered it down a little bit so I could work on it here on the car, but it can sit, and I'll just watch it and see if she's going to leak again or if she's going to stay dry. After I resurfaced the seats on the two jets in the carburetor, I put the carb back and assembled the carb, and I put it back on. It stayed dry for 3, maybe 4 days, but then it started to seep again. So what I did was I took this line off, and I set up a little clear cup under this shut-off valve for the gas tank here, and Sure enough, about 24 hours later, I came back and checked it, and it seeps. It seeps very slowly. There was no buildup in the cup, just a little bit of wet in the bottom and a drip on the bottom of this. So what I believe is happening is pressure on it being just the pressure of the fuel in the line and the filter, and that's all. It had the whole tank pressure on it because this seeping valve allowed that pressure, that extra pressure, to be on it, and eventually it caused it to leak because it couldn't hold back that pressure.